This is William Wagner with Salt and Light Global. Christophobic activists continue to bully Michigan into removing historic crosses from around the state. The latest is a cross in the Waterloo Recreation Area. Activists also recently attacked a cross in Grand Haven and at an historic memorial in Pierre Marquette Township. Salt and Light Global and our Great Lakes Justice Center stand by those who stand for the cross. Now, there's some corrupt judicial activism that led to these challenges. The First Amendment to the United States Constitution states, "Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof." In a 1970s case, Lemons v. Kurtzman, the Supreme Court, under the guise of interpreting the First Amendment, changed the meaning of the word establishment. Before Lemon, you needed no legal training to see the plain meaning of the clause. It prohibits government from establishing a religious government. For example, like the one in Iran. The court, without constitutional authority to do so, changed the meaning. According to the court's opinion, every government action must have a secular purpose and not even symbolically endorse religion. The court's test in Lemon intentionally muzzled religious conscience and viewpoints. Because the crosses do not establish a U.S. Christian theocracy, they do not violate the Establishment Clause. First, they do not relate to the act of establishing or founding of a religion. Second, none of the crosses subject American citizens to a government under a theocracy. Third, none of the crosses coerce American citizens by force of law and penalty to practice one official religion to the exclusion of all others. The historic crosses do not, therefore, violate the plain meaning of the First Amendment. We need to stand up to the bullies and reject the archaic secular Lemon test. Due to the Lemon court's activism, the placement of the crosses supposedly require government to have a secular purpose. Moreover, they must not even symbolically endorse Christianity, which intentionally makes it impossible to survive an Establishment Clause attack. Governments, when challenged, should firmly reject the secular Lemon test. Often ignored by the Supreme Court, the test regularly receives well-earned criticism. Perhaps this criticism is the reason why a majority of the court likely no longer support it. If Lemon's judicially manufactured secular doctrine existed during the Lincoln administration, the Emancipation Proclamation would be unconstitutional. Why? Because Lincoln expressly invoked, quote, "the gracious favor of Almighty God," end quote, in the very text of the proclamation. Ideas have consequences. Prohibiting an historic cross or a public policy simply because either is informed by ancient sacred tenets prevents thousands of years of wisdom from informing the public ethic. The idea that because God created humans in his image, all human life has dignity, that idea ended slavery. It also advanced the rights of women around the world. Conversely, when government suppresses the free expression of religious ideas, atrocities and corruption abound. This is a high-stakes battle worth fighting, folks. As the attacks on the Michigan Cross illustrate, we are in the midst of a very important battle over the character of the American nation. Institutional integrity cannot exist without personal virtue. Good governance and civic institutional integrity rest on the virtue of those holding power within those institutions. Ideas grounded in the cross support and nurture this virtue. It should, therefore, always be permitted within the marketplace of ideas. People of faith should not be stripped of their dignity, religious identity, and conscience in order to participate in our constitutional republic. To make sure that does not occur, we must make our voices heard. Stand for the cross. This has been Professor William Wagner, and this has been a Salt and Light moment.